We see a bird's eye view of what may have once been a lush countryside, but is now a darkened, dry scar across the face of the valley. Smoke rises from the ashes of devastated farm buildings and trading outposts. The casualties on both sides of the sibling rivalry lay strewn about the earth, bloodied, burned, and forgotten. 150 years later, few people truly remember how the war started. Some say the two brothers entrusted with the governing of the nation were in a quarrel over a woman and declared war on the other's territory. Revolutionists insist that Pleolixus's men started torching villages one day out of the blue. Loyalists believe that younger brother Torre became fed up with his brother's harsh rule over his territories and lashed out when Pleolixus disregarded this warning. No one truly remembers how the 100-Year War, the sibling rivalry, as those far removed from the actual event call it, came to be. What was left of the newly desolate fields and valleys has recovered slowly over time, but the effects cannot be erased. Thick, full orchards grow in the remnants of the scar where acres of land were burned to the ground. Helmets, arrows, weapons, and remains of the lost ones can still be found in the riverbeds and buried under the developing cities. For 50 years, the Wild Nation has known peace. The capital city of Wystone was built in the center of the nation as a beacon of hope for the war-torn realm and as a watchful eye for the governing body to ensure such great devastation never happens again. The Chancellor of the Wild Nation and leader of Wystone, Sir Gildan Prod, has ushered in an era of great progress for the nation. This progress and peace could not have been accomplished without the guiding hand of the Governing Order of Development, or GOOD as some call it. This organization is charged with maintaining the well-being of the city. The Research and Development Department ensures Wystone has adequate building materials and resources for its residents. Human Resources hears complaints and suggestions from across the nation and helps improve the infrastructure based on them. The most important department of all is Public Works. This department oversees the relations between the villages and territories within the Wild Nation and keeps the peace at the Superintendent's command. I am Superintendent Epley. Welcome to your first day as employees of the Public Works Department for good.
Yeah, the name is Clickyar, but to most people of Faerun of this plane, simply say Click. I'm chaotic good. Most Aarakocra grow to 5 feet. I'm 6 feet tall. Most only weigh about 100 pounds at most. I'm 120 pounds. Our Aarakocra are not native to this plane. They're originally from the elemental plane of air. And after a few years, I was sent to this plane to live among the Aarakocra that live in the Star Mounts in the High Forest in the northern part of Faerun. Not long after I arrived, I was pretty young, about 3 or 4 when I got there. This big green dragon of sorts attacked our little tribe that was just camped up in the mountains. Didn't really get a good look, but only thing I really could tell that there's this like big scar kind of on the left side of its face. Not too many of us survived that, and ever since I've been wanting to get revenge for the death of my brothers and sisters. So I've continuously trained from that moment on, filled with rage for this dragon that killed my family and friends. Eventually, a few years later, I was on the kind of outer edge of our territory when it's kind of scouting and just protecting, and when this traveler happened to waltz by, and he recognized that was Aarakocra and knew of the tragedy that befell this tribe not few years earlier, and told me of some rumors and potential sightings of the dragon farther to the south. that was all he knew. And that's where I ended up going to the capital city, finding that job that could potentially help me find more information about where this dragon is and lives.
Well, I was going to make a joke about having to adjust your retirement plan because you are such a young old man, but since you said your heart-wrenching story about the murder of your clan, that seems wildly inappropriate now. Great. Euleda, I believe. Next, please tell everyone a little about yourself. So what do they see when Euleda stands up?
I have black hair, a pale purple face, and bright orange eyes. I am from Thieves Landing Island. We were made to steal, kill, and make as much money as possible. Life growing up was pretty easy, just learning what we do best. And I will say that both of my parents are deceased. There was an accident in an adventure gone wrong, and I went through all the training as a teenager to get it's an equivalent to a black belt like in the martial arts. I got it in sleight of hand, stealth, and deception. I promise I'm a nice person. I also got an extra degree in performance. I own my own set of bagpipes. I also have a degree in animal handling, and I really enjoy playing cards. I can speak 2 languages, Halfling and Common, and I saw the job offer here, and I really look forward to working with you all, and I consider myself pretty lucky and brave.
And what race is Euleda?
A Lightfoot Halfling Bard.
Well, let's just try and keep those sticky fingers all gloved while we're at work. We do have higher-ups to answer to here. Am I right, everyone? It's your first day. You wouldn't know that. Okay, next up. Who do we have next? How about Rogar? Will you introduce yourself to everyone?
Well, when Rogar stands up, it's kind of crazy because as a dragonborn, Rogar is quite large. We are upwards of 7 feet tall. So we stand up and like you would expect like this big scary dude, but we're talking and we're like, hey guys, my name is Rogar. I'm a gold dragonborn. I come from a pretty well-off family. We are considered probably, one of the better well-off families. I don't have a story like everybody else. I don't really have nothing really bad ever happened to me. I guess once somebody stole my lunch and that wasn't very nice. I tend to be pretty lawful good, I'm nice to everybody. But despite my noble birth, I try not to place myself above other people. We are all the same. Just nothing is more important than my family. And I just have this sense of responsibility and respect, which is why I went to look for a job. Despite having all this money in my family, I just want to make my own living. I'm excited to work with you all. Thank you.
Excellent. We need a good sense of law and order in this line of work. Next, let's hear from Zerichar. Zerichar? Is that right?
It's Zerikar, actually.
Zerikar,
but that's okay.
My apologies.
So, when I stand up, I'm about, I'm 6'3". I am a tiefling. I have light blue skin, green eyes, white hair. I'm upwards of 6 years old, which is pretty old for us. So I'm a pretty old guy. I've seen stuff. I'm known as a sage. So my backstory here is that I've been around pretty much everywhere in Faerun, researching, studying, doing most of the field work here, so that I know pretty much a lot of anything. So if people ask, I probably maybe know it. Except maybe for that newfangled technology, but I thought working at a place like this might help with that. I am a I go around and I just try to figure out what I can. And I thought working here would be a nice, some nice experience for me. Something nice, something new to learn. Also, I am neutral good. So.
Excellent. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Athol. Yeah, could you please introduce yourself?
I am Athol Bearcaller. I come from a long line of Athols. I am a stout halfling at 3 foot 35 pounds. I grew up in a small village at the base of a mountain, and I got bored, so I came here.
I'm sorry, but you said you came from a long line of assholes. That's some good effing showmanship. What a confident introduction. Yes, we are thrilled to have all of you here in the department. We have had many openings recently. You're probably all very worried about that, but truly, there's just room for mobility in this organization. A lot of promotions or transfers to different departments. We're very excited to have you. Does anyone have any questions for me before we continue this onboarding process?
What are Athol and Rogar? What are your classes?
That's a meta question.
I'm a druid.
Druid. Just want to make sure I'm putting it in my notes.
Okay, I'm a sorcerer.
I'm a bard.
Sweet.
Double bards.
All right. So
Lots of
continue.
songs to enjoy.
Are there any business questions? Anything about the job? Does anyone?
Yes. What are we doing exactly? The description on the job didn't really give much.
Oh yes, of course. So, as you all know, the Chancellor has ushered in an overwhelming era of peace over the land, and as you are part of the Public Works Department, it is your job to ensure that it stays that way. Recently, we've had sort of a spike in agitators and revolutionists sort of causing a stir around the nation, and we just want to nip that in the bud. So anyone sort of causing a ruckus or things like that, we'll send you all to take care of, and then recovering some materials and just dangerous weapons from people who have obtained them that seek to do the nation harm with them will also be in your wheelhouse. We haven't had anything like that happen for 3 months now, so I don't see it coming up often, but it's something you should be prepared to do. Are there any other questions along those lines? Did I answer the question well enough?
What benefits are for this job?
Oh, you scoundrels. Yes, we do not cover dental. That is something you have to pay for on your own. We do have a state-of-the-art medical facility to treat any wounds that you may incur or collect while you are on the job. All of that will happen here. On site, we provide you with some beautiful barracks to stay in while you are employed for good. These include some suites and a kitchenette and bathroom for each apartment. You all will be roommates together. Not all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not all 5 of you, but you know, the ladies and the gentlemen. And if anyone identifies otherwise, we will come up with other accommodations for you. And then, click.
Do you have a nest for me?
No. We can work something out about your sleeping arrangements. We can. I will have my assistant hold on and say, Jameson! Pardon me. Jameson! Write down nest. Oh, thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. We want to make sure you all are very happy here and comfortable. On the main floor of the barracks, you will all find the sort of the hall, the main hall. You will be able to find meals there if you do not wish to use your kitchenettes or cook on your own, and essentially just meals. It's a mess hall. You also get a monthly equipment allowance. We will discuss the parameters of that at a later point when we take you down to the armory, but any special equipment, weapons, rations, potions that you need, you will have a set amount of funds to spend on that for the month for your missions, and make sure you keep track of it, because we will not be keeping track of it for you. And if you run out of money on your first day and you have several missions that month, there is just nothing we can do about that, aside from taking the extra out of whatever rewards you get from the mission. But we'll talk more about that later. And then when you complete assignments, you will be paid. It is sort of a commission base. You are not on salary, but we find that that's pretty reasonable considering we provide room and board and meals and equipment. So those are the benefits, as you put it. You later, yes.
Is there a religious hall? I practice voodoo for my faith.
Oh, we do have a multi-purpose room on the barracks. The city is quite large, so you would be able to find sort of a temple or a place of worship around the city if the multi-purpose room would not serve your purposes, but no religious sort of institutions are present on the barracks since we are a government organization.
Do you know of any green dragon sightings nearby?
We haven't seen a dragon in well over 150 years. I mean, and I think there might have been some around during the war, but it was so devastating to the landscape and the environment. Any that were around surely have built their hordes and gone into hiding in the mountains.
And you there, gold dragon named Rogar. Since you dragon, do you know of green dragon sighting?
We have not heard of anything in the area. However, we also don't hear a lot of dragon sightings, as we are not seen too keenly in the eyes of dragons, usually, seeing as we've civilized ourselves.
I see.
I did have a question for our new employer. You said we are split into barracks according to genders, correct?
Yes, generally.
So, Euleda has her own room, and the rest of us share a room.
Well, we don't like to pack the apartment suites too fully, so you guys can pair off however it is you'd like to split the rooms, and so that'll be 3 rooms for, like, your party total.
Is there a sturdy tree branch outside the room?
I suppose that depends on where you end up in the barracks, but you will be out and about in the field soon enough, and I'm sure you will find plenty of branches and hay and twigs, whatever makes your nest the most comfortable for you. Are there any other questions about the position or anything before we continue?
No.
Okay. Now, if you will all refer to the onboarding paperwork that is in front of you, and just go ahead and fill those out for us. It's all, it's just, what is the word? Oh, formalities, red tape. That's what it is to work in government, I suppose. And let me know if you have any questions about the paperwork while you're filling it out.
My full name you would not understand. You may call me Click.
Well, it's not really that, anyone is going to be referring to you by your full name. It's, again, it's for the government. We have to have your full name.
Question?
Yes,
What if I don't
Apple.
know my blood type?
Well, we wouldn't want you to guess.
My feathers are orange.
I'm a guess.
Oh, don't guess on your blood type. That
I'm gonna say orange.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I suppose the doctors will not understand that.
My blood type is bird.
Also, not the point of the question, but you can go ahead and write that, and we'll just make sure we have a lot of O negative in the bank.
Why do you need to know my favorite cake flavor? I don't see how that's relevant to the government.
So they can give us cake on her birthday.
That is actually exactly right.
Well, there we go.
With the humdrum of everyday government work, birthday parties are a fun break.
I do enjoy a good bunny cake.
No, thank you. I'm okay with just working.
All right. This is going swimmingly.
What reason do you need to know greatest fear?
It's a fun fact for the birthday parties. We do fun games.
Is this one of those icebreakers I've heard about?
Yes, an icebreaker. That would be correct.
Rogar hates icebreakers.
Okay. Well, if you don't fill it out, we can't pay you. So please answer the questions to your best ability. Yes, you later.
I have a concern on my greatest fears. I have my physical education trainer. Long story. Also, I'm terrified of birds.
What about anthropomorphic human-sized birds? Is that better or worse for you? If they are huge birds that speak.
It depends if they let me, go for a ride or something.
I will give thought.
This is going quite well. I really think you guys will make an excellent team.
My greatest fear is being stuck on ground like you.
Well, I don't feel stuck. It's not like it's all quicksand. I walk. And the superintendent looks visibly uncomfortable and a little hurt that you were like, you're stuck on ground. And so, not like visibly, you don't see him move or anything or say anything, but he casts levitate on himself and he just starts to float about 6 inches above the ground, looking a little taller and feeling just a little bit better about himself.
I walk over, give him a high five.
Who's stuck on the ground now? Not I. It only took a while to figure out how to do this one, but I can do many other things, so...
My special skill is I can break things.
My apologies, Director.
You and my children, am I right?
Oh.
I am strong. I like to break things.
That's what they told me too, and that's why I have a membership card at IKEA. Fantasy IKEA. Yep. Okay, well, has everyone finished your onboarding paperwork?
What is our address?
Where do you live?
Here.
Where did you live before you lived in the barracks?
Star Mounts. That is where I lived.
Okay, write that then. That's perfect.
What if I don't have any food allergies?
Then
will I still get paid?
Yes, that is just in case we have anything that you're deathly allergic to. We won't put that in the mess hall.
I am deathly allergic to bananas.
I thought you said you had no food allergies.
Oh, I asked hypothetically, what if we didn't?
Oh, all right. Well, we will just make sure that there is an area that is banana-free, just for you.
Many thanks.
Anytime.
I won't say a rock that was too big.
That's scary.
It hurt.
Are you allergic to rocks that are too big?
If that was if that is what allergic means, then yes.
So let me get this straight, Click. Are you only allergic to rocks that are too big? Like a small rock would be acceptable? Yes?
I assume it would be okay.
You should test it. Does anybody have a small rock?
I do not want to eat your rock.
All right, I think this has gone just very well. Why don't we move on to the next part of your orientation? So, everyone follow me, and we are going to continue the tour. And Superintendent Eppley walks out of the room and opens the door for all of you into the beautiful hallway that you walked down when you came to the Governing Order of Development. And once you all are out, he begins walking you down this hallway with some white marble floors that squeak just a little bit with every step you take, and that same dark oak trim is along all of the walls. And there are paintings hung up of government leaders. The chancellor is hung up, and the superintendent, and then there's a little plaque that says Employee of the Month, and you'll see a skinny-looking elf man is hanging up above Employee of the Month. He has dark red hair and a handlebar mustache, and underneath it reads Jameson. So you gather from that that is the superintendent's assistant. And you keep walking down the end of the hallway until you reach a large elevator, and the superintendent clicks the button. There can be elevators in my fantasy world before anyone says anything. The superintendent clicks the button and ushers you all into the elevator shaft cart thing, elevator box, the elevator, and presses the button that has a B on it and says, "Off to the basement we go." An exciting first day for everyone, I'm sure. And the ride down is short because it's an elevator. Elevators are fast. And you come down into a room with a white floor again, but this is tiled, and the lighting is just so bright. Your eyeballs are a little irritated, and you see one light towards the back corner of the room that is flickering just enough, and you are getting just a little bit of a headache. It's really annoying. And then there's a long white marble countertop, and from behind it you see a dwarf woman pop up, and she has long red hair also, and says, "Director, you've brought more people for me, I see. New people?" And the director says, "Calm down now, Ziegler. No haggling with the people on the first day. Now, everyone, this is Ziegler, and she runs the armory," which is where you are now, if that wasn't made clear. We have all the equipment you could need for all of your missions. There is weapons in the back corner, and then rations and potions and things of that sort of up here by the front. And in the middle you'll find some armor, a couple of magical items on the occasion, and you will be able to use your monthly allowance here. Anything that you, any currency that you acquire while you're out in the field you can use here, and some equipment is just provided to you by the government on its own. So feel free to have a look around, but I just wanted you to be able to see the armory. You won't get your allowance until tomorrow after your orientation today, but feel free to look around, and if you find anything, just you can let Ziegler know, and she can set it back for you.
Question: If we started with when we made our character, when it gave us weapons, do we have those on us? Do we have to?
Yeah, okay. That's fine. You had lives before you were government employees.
On my hip, on each of my hips, I have daggers and boomerang. I have one No, I've one dagger and a boomerang in the other hip, and then on my back between my wings, I have 4 javelins and a great axe.
Okay. Ziegler looks at you, Click, and notices how much stuff you have on you and says, "Aren't you well equipped? Is there anything you don't have, sir? Birdman?"
There is a lot I do not have.
Okay, that interaction went great, says the superintendent. You guys really are getting along here. Excellent.
Rogar has a question.
For whom? For myself or for Ziegler?
for you, or Ziegler, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
If I have my own funds, would I be able to use that to purchase things as well?
Oh, absolutely. We just, as the governing body of Wystone, wanted to make sure that all of our employees are taken care of, so the monthly allowance you get covers anything that you have that might be damaged or that you just don't have when you're working in the field. It wouldn't be fair to send you out there without weapons or armor, shoes.
Understandable. Rogar gets a monthly allowance from his parents. Rogar has a lot of money.
Well, Rogar, I think we may have plenty of equipment and rare items here for you that you might enjoy. Don't forget to stop by and see your old pal Ziegler whenever you have a coin burning a hole in your pocket. Does anyone else have any questions or things to ask Ziegler, or would you like to look around or anything?
Click will take a look around.
Okay.
Rogar would also like to look around.
Go ahead
I
and
might
make
as well join
some
them.
perception checks. We're playing D&D. No, investigation checks. Let's roll some dice.
I got 9.
18.
I got 18.
What is this investigation?
Even with my mind.
investigation.
Okay.
I got
I even have a -1 on mine.
I get a 21.
I'm stupid, but I'm observant.
22.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I got 9.
What did Click get?
18.
Oh my god.
Elena got a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, Click.
Yeah, me.
So, the 2 9s, so Athel and Uleda, you sort of stay towards the front of the shop by Ziegler's counter, and you see basic things like water skins and rations, torches, rope, mostly things you could find in your like adventurers packs or explorers packs. And you don't see much else. A couple of simple weapons, and just so everyone knows, anything in the armory that sort of is the basic stuff you do not have to pay for. So like anything in one of the packs you get to just have, and then any like, accessory sort of armor or weapons or anything like that, you will pay the price that is in the player's hand. For those of you that rolled 18 and up, you made your way to the back corner of the store, and you see weapons of all kind, heavy, simple, martial, all of the weapons, and some of them are engraved along the handles, and there are some that are silvered, and a few that are like locked behind chains that you sort of assume are like enchanted weapons or magical weapons, but clearly those are a little bit pricey at this point in time. Rogar, you in the back corner are the only person that looks up, and you see in a big glass case sitting on a blue velvet pedestal is this battle axe, and it's bright white and covered in this ornate blue design that's like very floral and just very pretty. And you're the only one that looks up and sees it because you rolled the highest. Anybody want to say anything about that?
What is up with this battle axe. Rogar is intrigued.
Oh, the battle axe. Well, I am not really an authority to be telling you anything about anything in the armory, but I'm sure Ziegler would be just thrilled to tell you about anything in the store. And Ziegler walks up to you in a character voice I'm going to come up with right now. So, the battle axe, huh? You want to know about the battle axe?
Yes, Rogar would like to know about the battle axe.
I can't tell you where we got it. I thought I locked it in, and there it went, out the door. I can't do a voice. Ziegler's me. Ziegler's my voice now. Okay. I can't tell you where we got it, because, nobody knows where we got it. But, that is the legendary ceramic battle axe. They said it is carved from a very sharp but brittle material. And it has a considerable weight that is magically enhanced when you are wielding it. While you're wielding it, your speed is dropped. You have to walk much slower because it is so heavy. And it provides, meta, because she wouldn't say this. It provides +3 to attack and damage rolls. And the wielder may choose to take disadvantage to the attack roll for an additional +5 to attack. On a hit, the axe deals 12d12 damage, then erupts into millions of colorful shards.
That's OP.
Any form of mending used to restore the axe's physical form does not restore its magical properties. Instead, it simply acts as a +3 battle axe with a 50% chance of shattering at the end of a turn when it is used.
Sounds like a one and done.
Sort of, yes. I mean, but with that power, it's worth it, you know? And I mean, once you mend it, it's not quite as good as it was, but it's still a pretty considerable weapon. But it does come at a cost.
How much of a cost?
15,000 gold pieces.
That is spicy. Rogar does not have that much with him.
Well, I can't imagine you're going to be needing a weapon of that caliber on your very first day. Well, does anyone have any more questions for Ziegler before we finish your orientation? All right, everyone back into the elevator. Ziegler, make sure to dust all the fingerprints off that these guys left when looking at all the wares. Yes, of course, Director. I will get right on that, says Ziegler, and you guys are pretty sure she is not going to get right on that. And you all pile back into the elevator, and the Director doesn't hit the button for floor 1, he hits the button for floor 2, and you all go up there, and you see a very large plain room, a gray floor, metal walls. They look like the inside of a Quonset, if everyone knows what a Quonset is, of like a big metal building, and huge lights hanging from the ceiling. And he leads you in here and turns around and looks at you excitedly and expectantly.
Am I supposed to know what this
Rogar
is?
is confused.
You guys don't know what you get to do on orientation day? Nobody told you?
Nope.
No,
Not that I know.
Rogar is confused.
That'll be a negative.
No.
It's the entrance exams.
Thank you to everyone who tweeted at us and messaged us on our social media. Characters named after listeners for this episode included Superintendent Epley, named for Riley Epley at TimePony on Twitter, and Ziegler, named after Amy Ziegler from Instagram. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and please keep tweeting at us and messaging us on our social media, and maybe you can end up as a character in the show.